This is the Xtar SP100 solar panel. It was sent to me a couple of months ago for testing, and I've been testing it at home, and now Linda and I have gotten it out on an actual trip, and it's being put to use. So in this video, I'm going to show you what it's capable of, and we'll talk a little bit about its features and its capabilities. Stick around. Well, Xtar sent me this solar panel. It's been a couple of months ago, I think, and I've been waiting for a chance to do a review on it. And today's the day. At first I was waiting for them to send me more connections, and today I was able to hook it up to my Blue Eddy EB55. And it's important today because even though it's in bright sunlight now, by about noon today, my camp spot's going to go into shade, and I sorely need power because I have a lot of editing to do today. Anyway, I got this out, and this is how it's doing. Okay, here's the Xtar solar panel being tested against a 120 watt panel. Now the Xtar is a 100 watt panel, and behind it is a 120 watt panel. So currently the 120 watt panel I don't know if you can read this. Currently it's putting out 79 watts. Now tilting this panel, now this is mid-morning. We've got a bit of a hazy sky. Linda's going to read what I get if I just play with the tilt on this panel a bit. Call it out, Linda. I'm going to lay it a little flatter.
76.
Went down to 76 there. Let me stand it up a little bit.
79.
79 there.
74.
74. Okay, so about 79 is the max we get out of this panel. Now let me hook up the Xtar panel. Okay, what's it reading right now?
79.
So the
83.
currently reading 83. Now I'm going to play with the tilt on this panel and let Linda call it out. I'll repeat what she says because she's kind of far from the microphone. Okay, so we got 83. Tilting it up a little bit.
85.
85 right there.
Yep.
How about now?
85.
85. Let me lay it down a bit.
84.
What about there?
82.
82.
80.
All right. So it was pretty good right where it was. What's that now?
83.
83 right there. Well, that's pretty good because it's rated at 100 watts. I mean, 84. It's sold as a 100 watt panel. In their paperwork, it's actually rated at 110 watts. So what they're giving you here, this is something I think all solar panel companies should do, and probably some of them do, is to actually advertise a panel that's at 100 watts when the panel is actually rated higher. So that means that when you point it at the sun, let's say they sell you a 100 watt panel that's rated at 100 watts, and you can seldom get more than like 80 watts out of it. But wouldn't it be better marketing wise to sell you a panel as a 100 watt panel that's actually rated for more, so that you're happier when you get it and you point it at the sun and you get a decent amount of wattage out of it. Now these are sun power cells on this Xtar panel, which is top of the line for cell technology today. And the panel that the 120 watt panel I'm comparing it to is also a high quality panel. It also has sun power cells. But for some reason I just wasn't getting the same efficiency out of it today. First, let's get the specs out of the way. I'm not going to memorize these. I'm just going to read them to you. The open circuit voltage is 23.76 volts. And the short circuit current, 7.5 amps. Max power voltage, 17.6 volts. Max power current, 6.25 amps. And see here it's listed as the max power is 110 watts, plus or minus 5%. So they've overrated it a bit to give you a better working capability when you're actually using it. I don't know what other companies do that. Maybe there's a bunch, you know. So I think that'll take care of that part. Let's take a look at the panel itself. First of all, it's a single folding panel, which makes setting up kind of a breeze. It's the easiest panel to use. Instead of unfolding 3 or 4 panels, it's just a matter of it's got the Velcro on the back. It's just a matter of that. That's it. Now, one thing I noticed right off the bat is, unlike other panels that I've gotten in the past, this one will go down flatter and stand up higher. These fold-outs on the back have more range to them, which is good because when the sun is higher in the sky, you're able to get it down pretty flat. Look at that. Most of them won't go that flat. And then for that earlier day sun or late day sun, you can stand it up higher than the others also. Well, I don't know about higher than the others. I think the others will stand up high like this too, but they won't go, they definitely will not go to that point right there. So that's a good thing. And putting it away is easy. Get the cable in the way here. Hey Linda, come up a little closer. I want to show them something. Let me move this cable out of the way. I want to show you, oops. Move the cable out of the way. Look at the way they did this. One of the reasons you get more leeway is you got that, there's elastic right here. And it's made so it keeps its own strap out of the way when you fold it up, so you don't have the strap hanging off to the side. So that's a nice thing. So yeah, setup is really easy. And you're in business. Now, also at the top, it's magnetic, so it stays closed that way. Now there's another feature here I want to show you, and that's that there's a gap in here. Unless you put it unless you're storing it where things are crushing it, which you shouldn't do, that gap keeps those panels from rubbing on each other, and taking the shine off them and making so that the light doesn't pass through the surface as easily. So this is built with a little gap in it here. That protects the panels. For me, when I store these solar panels, I put some styrofoam in here or bubble wrap or something to help protect them also. Now on the back, where this cord comes out, the first thing you'll notice is, well, for one thing, this is a water resistant zipper. Look how tight it closes. And inside here, this is also a water resistant connection, and you'll notice there are no USB ports or anything like that in here, and that's because you don't want that stuff out in the rain anyway. So this is protects you against that. Yeah, all told, I'm liking this panel. This is a nice panel. This is the SP100. See, it's rated 100 watt foldable solar panel, outdoor power supply. Of course, it's got the grommets in the corner. That's so you can hang it up somewhere. suspended from something. It's got a grommet in each of the four corners. So the way this one came to me was with this 8mm barrel plug. And they're still at this point, they're making up their mind what kind of connections to have. I think they're going to stick with this plug, but they're going to have to, they sent me this MC4 adapter, which made it so that I could go into my Blue Eddy that has an XT60 plug on it. With this, of course, this came with the Blue Eddy. So this adapter that they sent me made it possible to go to this. Now this barrel plug will go in directly into a Blue Eddy XB70, but it won't go into a Blue Eddy XB55. I wish they would get this stuff down standard. That would sure help. But as long as you can get the correct adapters for it, that's all you need. I need to keep that thing hooked up because I'm going to be using that the rest of the day. I need to get it charged up again. This panel also has the latest stippling that they've been putting on the solar panels recently. And this actually captures more light. It's not as critical to how you point the paneling into the sun when it has this stippling. Trust me, you're still going to want to point it as carefully as you can, though. Let me show you something. This is what you should see when you buy a 100-watt panel. 97 watts. So basically that goes back to what I was just saying about building a panel that's actually a larger panel and selling it at a lower rating. This is being sold at 100 watts, and it can under ideal conditions, maybe it'll put out 100 watts. I mean, well, 97 is pretty doggone close. The cord that comes from it, that's directly attached to it, that ends in that 8mm barrel connector. This cord is about 9 feet long, 8 or 9 feet long. And they sent me a 10-foot extension. They sent me this MC4 adapter. It goes from here to here, so that I could hook it up to anything that comes with MC4 connectors on it, like this Blue Eddy did. This is another possible adapter you could get. You could hook up 2 panels with this one, 2 100-watt Xtar panels. And on this end, it just happens to have a SAE connector, which, well, this would go into a Jackery 1000. I'm sure you can get this Y connector with different adapters on this end. And then it came with these, they sent me these 2 barrel connectors. One is a 5.5. This looks like maybe a 6. Not sure. I haven't used those yet. Now remember, I mentioned that it didn't have USB connectors on the panel out there where they can get wet. This is what they came up with, but this is something you buy extra. This is the Xtar EU4S, and what it is your USB-A and USB-C ports. So it's got a quick charge 3.0, and it's got the 2.4 amps USB, and then down here is a Type-C port that's rated at 45 watts. So this can charge laptops, cell phones, camera batteries, that you could hook the solar panel directly into this and maybe put this out of the rain somewhere in case you need to charge your cameras and whatever. So this fills the bill of not having these ports out in the elements on a solar panel. This will probably be extra, something you could add on. Not sure the cost at this moment. I don't think it's going to be that expensive. Tried to hook this up in the shade, and the lights are steady on here, but in the video here it shows them as flashing. But you can scroll through the different settings here. Now up across the top it tells me what it's reading. Right now it's on USB 1. I happen to have my phone plugged into it, and it shows 5 volts available, 1.3 amps coming out of that USB 1 terminal. 5 volts. And then it'll flip over to show right there 1.3 amps. That's what my phone is getting right now. Well, I'm going to wait until this panel hits the market before I put this video up. But you see, at this point I don't have a price on it. So be sure and look in the video description down below where I'll put a link to this panel and you can see how much it costs. It'll probably be available on Amazon. Hopefully the price will be competitive. The panel is great. It's got some good features on it. It sure is cranking out the wattage, so that's a good thing. Hey, we'll see you around.